Years ago, well, two things. Years ago, Henry shared this, and some of you in the room will remember, and maybe some of you won't. But we used to go to this restaurant in LaGrange after every service when we were very small. And because there wasn't any place in town that really could hold everyone, because everybody wanted to go, and you have to understand a lot of these people were walking out of food allergies, so this was a walkout experience plus a fellowship experience. And so we would get the kids all in the car and we would do a caravan to LaGrange, and we'd stay there for hours. And people would take back their foods, and it was a great time. Great time was had by all. We tipped the waitresses lovely. They were excited to see us. We were not a problem. And so in the course of this time, we would see different, what Henry called Christers. They'll come in, after church and stuff, and we'd see different people. And he had his eye on this one guy that kept coming in all the time. And he said to me finally, one day, he goes, "Donna, look at that guy over there. He'd make a good pastor." I said, "Why do you think he would make a good pastor?" "Because look, he looks the part. He looks really like he looks like a good pastor." And this man was tall. He was everything that Henry wasn't. Let me just say that, okay? And and every week that he would be there, he would say the same thing to me. And so finally, I had to rebuke him. I don't know, it took months, but I finally rebuked him. And I said, "Henry, why are you comparing yourself to that man?" And quite frankly, the comparison teaching that I did actually kind of came out of that, because that's where it started coming from. And he said, "I don't know, he just looks the part." And I said, "But you don't look anything like him, and you are a pastor. So what is that saying about you?" "Well, I just think that a man should look like he's a man of authority." And he started to begin to tell me all the reasons why this man looked like the man he should be a pastor. I said, "Sweetheart, the man probably, teaches art for a living, okay? It's a good thing. Everybody has a good thing." So he took the rebuke really well. But the reality is that in what you were saying and what the prophet is, in our minds, we have an idea or something we compare ourselves to make it look like whether or not we're succeeding or not, or we're becoming who we're supposed to be. And that is a trap that is really, that is a bad trap, because all that does is promote idolatry in mankind. And Henry understood after we had the conversation that he was actually idolizing that man because of the way he looked, as if he could be something by the way he carried himself. And I also said, I'm not speaking this on the man, but that man, he could have all sorts of sins in his back pocket you don't know about, because he hides them well. So you cannot judge a book by its cover either way. And in truth, the only spotlight, as you were saying in the prophecy said, is God, what God says about you. That's what it is. And it's not even the journey. We're all on the same journey. Just like everybody comes to the program, they all have their own issues and stuff, and we still have to deal with certain things, but it manifests or it expresses itself differently in everyone. Your journey expresses itself differently than it does with my journey, but we're still on the same journey. So don't look at me and say, I want to, because I'm on that journey, I should be like, look like, smell like her. You don't want to do that. Okay? What you want to do is take just the same steps, but it just might look a little different. Doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just means it's different. God will be the judge whether it's good or not. I'm not going to be. Just because your journey looks different than mine, I'm not touching that. Now, if you come to me and you ask me different things because of the office I stand, I will give you what I believe the word says. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm never going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what the word says you should do. But I can't tell you what to do because I'm not sure if I'm even doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a difference. I'm going to tell you what the word does, what the word says we should do. But don't do it because you think I'm doing it. Did everyone follow me? I want you really to get that. The only reason we should do anything is because the word says we should.